tones, with the texture of the hair.
I think when we look at the Toni & Guy brand values, I think that, you know, being a sponsor of London Fashion Week, having a huge network of salons globally and academies, we felt that it was time to really keep things very simple but with a fashionable edge and an element of commerciality.
Healthy looking hair, beautiful colours. Clients really want to wear. I want to look polished and I want to look expensive.
Okay, so we started the haircut working with like an offset horseshoe, just creating a really simple graduation. And then we isolated a panel just through the fringe area and just put a little bit of detail there. Through the top and the crown area, we worked with layers, just creating an asymmetric balance to the layers. And as you work to the fringe area, that's really the longest part of the haircut. And we see the sort of layers collapsing over one eye and just getting a sort of feeling of asymmetry from short through to long there.
Okay, so the technique, it is really a two-step colouring technique, and really worked with the shape. So what we needed to do for the focal point, which was from the crown towards the recession area, we isolated that section, pre-lifting it to a pale yellow undercut. We then went back to a second step colouring technique. So we did the perimeter working with a strawberry tone and we block coloured it. And then focal point that was pre-lifted has been reworked with a crescent parting, pivoting around it, just really to enhance the fluidity of the tones. And we alternated colours of vanilla and magnolia.
I think with any haircut, suitability is key, and it's grounded in our own philosophy. But I think particularly working with shorter haircuts, to get that detail, personalising hairlines, fringe areas, because you're really framing the face, it's crucial to get those elements right. But the key to the finishing was we evened out the porosity first with protein spray, and then we worked more with the blowout spray just to give it a little bit more volume, but without making it too sticky. And we just used the brush and our fingers just to create a slightly sleeker texture, but still keeping a bit of volume in the hair. And then the final ingredient was matte paste, just to give it a little bit of texture and separation, but not making it over shiny and too greasy.
My inspiration for this collection, it really comes from an architect, and her name is Zaha Hadid. Her work, it is evidence of everything that is fluid, everything that it flows, everything that is quite easy at the eyes. Naturally, I went to look into more elements in nature. So I went to have a look in particularly about the shape of a vortex or whirlpool, which has got a focal point and it's got fluid streamlines running through that. And that was really the base of my technique.
I think with this shape, it lends itself to sort of short into mid-length haircuts, and I think the reason I like to work quite simple techniques is that they're easy to change. One, change the balance, incorporate different lengths. So yeah, I think for anyone out there that sort of works on a similar technique all the way through their short haircuts, then this is a great opportunity to sort of vary that. One, in the elevation, two, with the length, the asymmetry. You know, you can really have a lot of fun with this shape.
For me, in a Toni & Guy interactive collection, really the color story is about the juiciness, the well-being, that they're willing to be expensive. It's the sort of color that clients want to see it and want to wear it and wanted to look healthy and glossy and polished and really expensive.
I think what's very interesting about this whole collection is there's not one dominant length. Previous two collections, we've seen a lot of short, a lot of strength, elements of movement with the width as we talked about. Now it's almost gone very eclectic in terms of more the finish, more the whole feeling and attitude behind the collection rather than one particular length dominating it.
To me, really what we created, Gary and myself, was a combination of what Toni & Guy is all about. The right balance between the colour, the shape, the texture, the product.
For us, having the label in range is a huge benefit. It just allows us to work and mould the collections really to our own taste. We can tailor the products to suit the textures and the cuts we're working on. So for me, working with the label in products is a massive benefit in the salon and the academy.
In the end, the great buzz really to see the work that you create in a photo shoot. The clothes, the makeup, beautiful hair, the pose of the model.
Well, when I saw the model being photographed, I was delighted because everything was hooked up. It was the makeup artist, the stylist, the photographer, everybody pulled together and got a fantastic result.
So buzzwords to me for this collection were really dynamic, energetic, motions.
Toni & Guy Interactive is a breakaway from really strong, hard, aggressive shapes into something much more flowing, more editorial feel to it. Still focusing on technique, but much more on finish and texture and softness.
For me, in a Toni & Guy Interactive collection, I'm really feeling that sort of individuality and being very unique. Interactive.